What's up, gamers? This is for those who are part of Gamergate 2. This is for the community. Let me tell you, I was in Gamergate 1. I saw the rise and fall. I can tell you, we now find ourselves at a crossroads. Any movement that experiences any kind of success will inevitably face a crisis at some point, which threatens to make it lose focus. So let's recap. Gamergate 1 and 2 get defined different ways by different people. For me, Gamergate 1 was all about gamers' rights as consumers, journalistic ethics, and getting good games. Gamergate 2 is more reactive, being it got started when a solid gamer, a bro, who was just looking to get the games he wanted to play, made a list. Cabrutus is his name, and he created what has now evolved into the DEI Detected website. How this started was, Cabrutus was attacked by an employee of a consultancy firm who tried to get his accounts on gaming services like Steam cancelled based on his work. That is totally and completely unacceptable. Cabrutus rallied back with many people, myself included, some openly and others quietly, seeking to right this profound wrong he might have suffered. The fact someone tried to cancel him simply for offering his own information resource to gamers is just fucking wrong. Now, where things are going at this moment is people are getting caught up in a kind of moral panic mode and losing sight of what matters. While many of us are skeptical and some of us are opposed to DEI policies, defeating them was not why Cabrutus rallied support. Gamers support our own. This was a defensive and protective action for a gamer who was being threatened and unfairly targeted. That's the first thing. Cabrutus is not a fan of DEI or woke games. Everyone knows that. The line was crossed, however, when he was targeted for cancellation. The fact the media mischaracterized this series of events, just as they did those of the original Gamergate, is to be expected and is repugnant to our instincts as gamers. It is false, it is unfair, and it represents bad faith engagement. It rubs most, if not all gamers, the wrong way. Vindictive losers aren't our playmates. Most of the time they don't even pretend to be, and have nothing but scorn and slurs to offer us anyway. We know what's up. As a movement, Gamergate 1 reached a point where we faced grifters trying to take advantage of the goodwill and momentum we've established. The agendas vary. They come from the political right or with religious viewpoints in some cases, but what a lot of it looks like is very similar to the attacks from those on the political left. What is telling is that they are only really attacking gamers and gaming at this point. In a roundabout fashion, yeah, there is a lot of moral grandstanding and posturing like they care, but realistically, they're doing this for their personal reasons, whether those are emotional or financial or both. They are not gamers' advocates. We are. GBAMFS stands up for gamers and for good games. We have a no-compromise stance on free speech and free expression, including art and publishing. We believe gamers deserve better than to be disrespected and mistreated in the media, on social media, and by those who pretend to be friends to gamers when they're really not. And it's getting clearer day by day. In Gamergate 1, one of our rules was, no single leader. Another was, we are not your personal army. Guess where that one came from. Both of those are still good, but we are not in Gamergate 1 anymore. Those of us who were there are veterans now. Some of us, like me, have kept our eye on the scene the whole time. We know what's going on. And let me tell you, this division is cancerous. The rage baiting and hype are part of the modern media gaming environment. I, respect everybody's grind, but we don't have to like any of it or any of the people out there presently. Those who treat the community with respect deserve ours. Those people just coming in and those now coming out in favor of changing the whole scene, whether they have views that look like they are more on the left or right, are more interested in those than they are the gaming scene on the whole, video games themselves, or caring about your average gamer. We're against that. We are for good games. We stand up for gamers. I put myself forward as point man. I am good at understanding and articulating viewpoints, especially when I love and appreciate, to my soul, something as much as I do gaming. I appreciate you all do too. We've got to stick up for each other. These companies, so-called journalists, and yeah, even the culture warrior tourists have all got to learn. It's about video games, not anyone's crusade. Gamers are not here to be abused, taken advantage of, disrespected, and miscast as villains. We just want to play our video games. Gamers aren't always the popular people. We don't have the same resources many of those in the media, entertainment, or government do. We're our own people. If we do not learn to play IRL co-op better, though, shit will continue to slide and go sideways on the regular. Just because we notch a victory here or there, without focus and sustained organized effort, the same things will keep happening without our ability to confront it well. GBAMFS exists to let us Voltron this shit. Nobody can defeat gamers when we are united. I am ready to put forward our views and message to the leaders in industry, figures in the press, and elsewhere. Together, we can do what they can never dream of. Enjoy products we ourselves demand, sometimes fund or create, represent them, and ourselves how we choose to. Not them, us, ours, our craft, and our way of life. Our culture. Hail to the modders, modelers, and hackers who maintain and make new content often thanklessly, sometimes in the dark, but always for love of the game. The multiplayer legends who never leave their games behind. We see you all. I'm here to offer my services and support. I am an IT guy by trade and have been on computers since DOS. I know my trade and have been playing video games even longer than that. I want to represent you and make sure our voice is heard, and heard well. No shills, shady publishers, or grifters should be able to fleece us or stir up hatred against us. Gaming is not just a hobby for us. What will you do to defend it? Let your voice be heard. Join us. Let's make sure we keep the fun going, so we can share the games we love with the people we love, without issues, for all time.